Hello and welcome to the My AGN. Oh, that wrong podcast.
Restart.
Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and here me with this week are Eli
Howdy ho.
and
Heidi ho.
and
I don't know what I'm
Unoclay.
saying.
I'm here as well. Me too.
All right, so I guess we'll get to what we've been playing. I haven't played too much as usual. I did try out Mike's Mario Maker level, and unfortunately he can't connect for whatever reason. He might show up later, but it was okay. It was like clearly a beginner level. Like, okay, I gotta test out the tools and whatnot, which is fine.
Good that you're saying that while he's not here.
Well, I would have said it anyway.
Yeah,
But I mean,
sucked. It was totally awful. And saying this, we can tell if he listens to his own podcast. Mike, your level was garbage. I never want to play any of your levels again.
so there you have it. No, I mean, like he was saying before the other week, like he didn't really get to unlock many of the items, and when you start off with Mario Maker, you barely have anything to work with. So like it's fine because the first level you have to figure out what the heck you want to do. Like it's hard to pick a jumping off point, I think. But I don't know. You should keep making levels because I'm sure you can make something neat.
I think I saw when I looked at my Miiverse just earlier, he might have posted a second level recently. So for the listeners of the podcast, maybe in the show notes we can post up Mike's level since we're talking about them extensively. So anyone listening can try him out. His first level was pretty cool. It's just really short, and like Matt said, it's you can definitely tell it was like him getting his feet wet, but I do think I saw something else from him come through. So maybe Mike's sticking with it. We should support him.
Cool. And the other thing I've been doing a little bit was playing against you, Unoclay, for your Smash Bros. Tournament, which hopefully helped.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, you and me do some good gaming, and as always, I always want to say that we welcome any other IGNers who want to get in on the fun because we like to play in the evenings on weeknights a lot of times. So yeah, that's been good.
So, because I'm already talking about Smash anyway, Unoclay, how did your tournament go? Because that was today, you said?
Yeah. I was, for context, if you're just joining the show or didn't listen last week, what I've been trying to do, and in fact, if you're an IGNer, one of the main reasons I first joined IGN was really honestly just to find other people to play games with, probably a pretty common reason. And it's been pretty successful, although it took a while because the way IGN is kind of a unique universe, and these days a little quieter. But I've found some cool people like Matt and a pretty big group of other kind of hardcore my IGNers that I play some games with. Although some of those they're straight stone killers, so when I play them, it's a little brutal. Me and Matt are usually a little more equivalent in our skill levels at stuff. So I was lately, my friend and I, one of my local friends here in Philadelphia, we'd put together a little mini Smash tournament with, we managed to get 8 people, which, you know how hard it is to organize even 1 people in this lifetime. So like getting 8 people to get into a room together to do something at the same time is always exciting. And as you get older and surpass the college years as I have, you'll find it even gets more challenging because everyone's crazy schedules. But we successfully negotiated a date, had a tournament at my buddy's house today. We went totally old school classic with like pizza and greasy fingers on the controllers and drinking beers like the grown-ups we are, like dudes on couches drinking beers playing Smash. It was pretty sweet, and we had a good turnout. Like I said, 8 people, and I did well, so I'm pretty pleased. I am not a historically great Smash player, and I regret that. I even owned Smash 64, but I never really got into it back in the day. I didn't really see the appeal of it, and I didn't really have anyone to play it with that was interested in it. So I didn't learn Smash in any tangible way till Brawl, and I've never played Melee yet. I know, it's heresy. But so I learned on Brawl, and then I've kind of really put my nose to it, nose to the grindstone, so to speak, with Smash 4. So I've improved my game a lot, and out of 8 people, I probably came in roughly third out of all the games if you kind of average my showing together.
Nice.
Yeah, I felt pretty happy with it because the people I was playing, there were about 2 or 3 people who right away I could tell were a little below my skill level because they came from another group of friends, and I could sense it when we were playing bigger matches. Like we were playing teams, we played like a few rounds of 8-player craziness. We played some 4-on-4s with like brackets and stuff, and I was doing okay in those, but I personally don't do as well in a big melee. I do a lot better on one-on-ones, and then I made it to the semifinals in the one-on-ones, which would mean I beat one person, and I beat him pretty badly. So that was fun. And then I went against one of my close friends for the semifinals in the like before the final match, and it was really close. And I put on a good showing, but he mains Peach, and he's a pretty dead eye killer with Peach, and we had a really good match, but he got kind of ahead of me on the final stock, and I ended up having to take a bow and out of the tournament at that point when he knocked me on my ass. And so that was cool. And my co-host, actually won the tournament, which I didn't expect. And he took home the belt. So we made a super sweet wrestling style Smash Brothers belt as the prize, or one of the prizes, and so it is now hanging on his wall till the next tournament. So it was a good time, and I recommend taking the initiative with your local friends to do it, because it really is kind of cool if you like video games, and it takes a little bit of organizing and bugging people, but I think it was worth it. So it's a cool day. So
cool.
yeah.
So what does the belt look like?
It looks like what you're imagining. Like, imagine wrestlers. My buddy, who's the co-host of the tournament, his name's Adam Black. He is really into wrestling, which I am not. I have never been into wrestling, but he is all up in that stuff. And so he made he got a prize trophy wrestling belt, and we modded it with like a special kind of art glue, and we made like Smash graphics on it. It looks pretty sweet, actually.
Nice.
We replaced every graphic on the belt where it said like WWE and stuff with like Smash graphics, and has like Master Hand and Crazy Hand on it, and
Cool.
a really disturbing graphic of Mario with nipple clamps on himself.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, that's my friend's sense of humor, and it was great. It was super funny. So your belt is kind of demented too, so it was good. I mean, I kind of main Sheik and Zero Suit, not because they're popular, but because I'm into really speedy characters, and I did pretty well with Zero Suit today. That's who I brought to the table, but it was unfortunately that Peach. He really it's one of those characters not a ton of people play as a main, but if someone knows how to handle it, he can really run you around the board with her. So it was fun, and I had no regrets. So it was fun. And thanks for helping train. I appreciate it.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
going to do
of course.
it again. So
much
this
fun.
will come up again soon, because we're going to train some more for probably another local thing, maybe in February we were talking about. So
Nice.
It's good times.
I'll have to try and play as one of the characters you're not as good against and see how that works out.
And I'll help.
I'm clearly not going to be great at Peach, but it might be something.
Well, my buddy who won he secretly had been training Bowser Jr. for weeks, and we play all the time, and he's never played Bowser Jr. in my presence. So I know he's pumped tonight because his strategy worked. Like, trot out a brand new character no one's ever seen him play before, and then be really good with that character. And I know he's psyched with his like sneak attack plan. So that's pretty cool, So any training helps. I just adore Smash. I can't help it. It's my favorite game. So
Sneakster.
Apparently, Eli's busy with the dog or something.
Eli like having a little special time with his special lady there. I don't know what's going on.
That's a weird nickname.
Hey,
I said Sneakster because he
I got you.
You said I'm sorry.
It just sounded really funny because you were far away from the mic. You go, Sneakster.
Oh yeah, because I went to go grab a pretzel. So
You're like, hey, don't touch my pretzels.
Sneakster.
You're not on the podcast. You can't have crunchy foods.
That's awesome.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, Mike's here.
Oh, he is here.
Yeah, Mike.
You have a weird orange triangle on your image, so I thought you weren't. I thought you were like disconnected or something. But all right.
It's Mike sneakstering into the podcast.
Yeah.
Stirring in, guys. Come on now. All right.
So, did you hear us talk for the first couple of minutes?
I only heard the Smash Championship belt, but I mean, if you guys are gonna play some Smash tonight, I'll play.
Okay, so Unoclay, you didn't hear us talk about his level. That's fun.
Yeah, you'll have to check the earlier part of the show, Mike. We were talking about your Mario Maker levels and how rad they were, bro. You got to check out the recording now.
You played my new one, my terrible new one.
No, I heard. I did talk about it though. I said I saw you put one up today or yesterday, so I'm going to check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. You should check it out. Yeah, but look, you're saying how amazing my level. I told you I can't create. I told you guys. I don't know what to do. I have like no tools. It was like, bro, here's a Goomba and a block. I was like, the hell am I doing this? Like, I made a sick level. I was telling Matt. And after I make it, I'm like, yo, this level's beast. Like, there's a new Super Mario Brothers level. Like, it was all, I started you off in like a wall where it had spikes, and I was like, no one's gonna get out unless they perfect wall jump out, you know? And then it was like, yeah, bro, you totally copied off this level and did it. I'm like, no, I didn't. And then it was like, yeah, you did. You started it off from somebody's thing. I'm like, the hell is that? I blew it up with the nuke. Like, what? And so I got, I was angry for a good hour.
When you had mentioned that last week, that's what happens if you try to build from someone's level. I actually hadn't known that before, but I had never tried it either. So that was kind of good, useful information, actually.
I was like, all right, the background's there. I didn't know how to like get into the maker without doing it. So like I had someone's level and I just blew it up, and I was like, yeah, it should reset it. I thought, but apparently it doesn't. So yeah, but yeah, check out the new one I made is an old Mario level. Like, Super Mario Brothers style. So maybe it's bueno. I doubt it. Oh, and then I put up one that said every ending ever, just says if you actually get lucky and easy mode and get this one, it's all mystery question mark. So you'd be like, oh shit, I already beat the game with with Peach. I want to beat it with Greninja. So you can just keep hitting mushrooms. You should be good. They correlate to which ones you have, by the way, not the ones that level creator has. So that sucks.
Weird. You can't. Well, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, so it's like if I say I have 50 costumes unlocked, you have 12, you can't play as one of the guys I have unlocked.
Yeah.
You know?
The only way to do that is put a ton of blocks and put specific costumes in, but that's kind of a pain.
Yeah, you see, I didn't know you could do that at first, and I was like, F that, I ain't doing that. Like, I was gonna do it, but I was like, no, man, let it go up the chance that you get 7 trampolines in a row and be like, yo, I'm done with this easy level, right? But, yeah. Oh, but I heard the Smash thing, so nice, even though you lost to a Peach with Sheik. Come on now.
No, I lost with Zero Suit. It's almost worse for me because I'm better with her. But, yeah, no, I'm pleased with it. He's a buddy I play a lot, and I'm closing in on him in skill, but in fairness, he's obviously better than me in the end and when it counts. So it's, but I've come up against, I'm pleased because I was able to give him a real game, and I used to, kind of die a lot to him. So, it's what it is.
Yeah. Like I said, if you guys want to play later when I'm back, I'm down. Because I am totally talking on the car right now. Podcasting and driving over here, right? That's why there's no popcorn. But, yeah. I'm in a anyway right now. Like, legit, I'm actually coming back from a tournament. Bro, I won 2 money matches, and then I blow it, alright? And I'm like, oh, man. I just blew it for 4th, and I was like, it's the first time I haven't been in top 3 in 3 months, and I hate this feeling, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
You guys know.
You're on our level now.
Man, you just hurt this guy.
I had to spend my money match, but that's why I got disconnected. I guess because I was getting gas, and I was like, man, this is the only money I won. It should have been 6 times this, aka $15, but still, whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to take a Smash break after. I have the whole list of games I should play, so I'm really hyped because I asked for Christmas for Xenoblade X and Yoshi's Woolly World. I might pick up Captain Toad if it's $20, but I can't find it anywhere for $20 right now, so I'm like, I'll wait on that.
So, Mike, quickly, what did you play this week?
I think just Mario Maker, man.
Nice.
That's about it. I was testing out that Pangea whatever guy level, and I could get the first 10 seconds through, which is not bad. But if I practice it all day tonight, I probably could beat it. That's what I'm gonna do, obviously. If I don't play Smash with you guys, I'm just gonna load up that level, and I'm gonna keep playing it until I beat it.
I haven't heard of it, so I'm guessing it's a really hard level.
I think it's PAN GAEA or something like that. Yeah, I mean, if you Google like Mario Maker Panga, something like that, something PAN, you should find it. It's an insane level. Like legitimately, like you Google it right now, you'll be like the first 10 seconds, you'll be like, what the hell is that? And then yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Cool. So yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks for making videos of you playing the levels. I didn't think you were actually gonna do that. I thought you were just like write a text thing.
No, hell yeah. I mean, I like I said, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Like, you do a really good job of the Mega Man 2 level. I was like, I know this part, I know that part, you know. And then Clay, I kind of like what Clay does, because like Clay's in love with ice blocks, by the way, right? Like, just what do you ever do with ice blocks? I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's an ice block. Of course it is.
I just like sticking with a theme. I really try to like get on a theme. So that's like why the one level's bombs, and then another one was like, a lot of ice blocks. But I hear you. Yeah, you played one with a lot of ice blocks. That's not a joke, So I was just trying to get on a theme there.
I love it. I enjoy ice levels. Like, water levels suck. I hate water levels. So that's like my pet peeve, just because it's slow and you don't really have that freedom. But I like Matt's kind of boss chase level, even though I took the top route, which I had no idea if it was like top route. I thought the bottom was like one of those like, haha, I tricked you, it's way harder. But then Matt's like, no, it's easier. I was like, oh, well, it looks are deceiving, especially in levels. But I enjoyed your ghost house level because it kind of gave that mystery feeling where you're trying to figure out what you're doing, and it's like, oh shit, that's what I do. Or some ghost houses will be mad easy, and it'll just what is it in Super Mario World when you beat the Mystery Forest Ghost World, and you go the easy route, and it just loops you right back to the same level, and you're like, but I beat the level. It's like, no, you didn't, bro. No. So it's like, I got that kind of feeling. So I enjoyed it. I love them. So if you guys make more levels, I'll definitely play them.
Mike, why don't you tell the listeners what the name of your YouTube channel is again, so they can check out these videos that you made if they want to?
Okay, that's if you look up Gaming Night Live, or if you just youtube.com/SMBGaming64, and you'll find me in my loud, obnoxious voice playing Super Mario World from these.
Yeah, Mike does a good job with his videos because he has like the inset Twitch type, where you can see a picture of him while he's playing, and and then the main screen is the game. So I was checking out your videos, and you do a good job with those, and you make them funny because the way you talk while you play is nothing but entertaining. So I think I got called a douchebag. I think I got called a douchebag more than I ever did in like
yeah, you are a douche, alright? Like, yeah, it's some invisible blocks. I'm like, this is clearly a jump right here. And you're like, did you know there's a block right here? I was like, no, I didn't know, So, like, I had to walk around with the trampoline, like, what's over there? Like with a crazy beard and freaking naming it Wilson and shit, and just throwing it at people.
You got through my levels. Like, I had some people tell me my levels are a little on the hard side, and you got through them real quick. So I got to give you props because you kind of cruised through them. So that's a testament to your skill, because not like they're the hardest levels ever, but those vertical sections are definitely annoying a little bit, and you just kind of climbed right out. And I was like, look at this guy go, So it's cool. So thanks for playing.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for making it.
I will say my boss chase level, I thought the top would have been harder because I didn't factor in people could spin in the air. So what it was you're supposed to bounce on one note and then bounce in succession, like perfectly timing so that you could get across it. And then once you did the spin jump, I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's not hard anymore. I think
sometimes don't forget, even if you jump on a musical note, Mario can sometimes forward tumble. Like, you can even spin jump out of a star, even though you won't see him spin. So, you're able to, get through a lot of gaps that way. But at the same time, if that was, a Super Mario Bros. 3 level, that kind of style, if you made that same exact level and then changed it to Mario Bros. 3 with no raccoon tail, it would be a lot harder.
I think the bottom one is more interesting just because you got through the top by, there's not much at the top, but at the bottom there's a bunch of, fire sticks. I forget what they call it.
I was looking at it. I was like, whoa, too dangerous for me. I thought you were actually, I thought you were going to trick me.
I got chain chomps and ice and...
I'm actually kind of surprised that Super Mario Maker is still around and so prevalent, especially for you guys. I bought the game, I played through some levels, and I really didn't do very much with it. I put maybe 4 or 5 hours in the game and never touched it again. I'm surprised that it's got such legs. I mean, I knew that some people, it would have long legs for some people. I didn't think it would have such a prevalent attitude among so many people.
Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't really for me. Those were levels I made like months ago.
No,
Never
I was
mind.
gonna say, like a few weeks ago, I would have agreed with you. It's like, there's no purpose to the game. You don't beat the game. You know what I mean? Also, getting Shulk is amazing because all he does is like if you hit up, he just does like he says everything in Japanese and it's great. But like I don't know, like I've been playing like a lot of different levels and I'm like, oh, like like this is fun. It's like the flavor for me like right now. I'm like smashed out. I don't really want to do that. And it's like I'm playing Mario Maker and it's like, oh, holy crap! Like some people thought of some really good ideas, and then now I've been skipping a lot more because I've just been like impatient. Before I'd be like, all right, I'm not. I have to beat this level. Like 70 lives later, I'm like, suck it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I wasted 2 hours on it. Let me just bang out some. I'm like, I don't like those levels where people are like, oh, guess the right door. Oh. I'm like, bro, it's not a platformer. But like, it's just I don't know. People have gotten way more creative and they keep updating the game. So I'm enjoying it a lot more. I mean, it's not Super Mario World, but I get to play some Super Mario World fast at this.
I think it's the kind of game, to Eli's point, that I think, yeah, we kind of debated about that when it first came out. I feel like back a few weeks ago, I don't remember the context, but the one thing about it is that without a true campaign mode, I see what Eli feels about it, that it's like, well, what do I do with it now? But it's the kind of game that if you're willing to kind of come back to games and kind of keep it on your to-play pile all the time, it's really fun in short bursts. And maybe every couple of weeks or every couple of months, you throw it in, build a new level or check out what's going on or play a few levels and just get your fix because you play it for a few days at a time, you kind of get your fill. Okay, I built some levels and now I'm at that point where I don't put it in every day, but then I just met a new guy tonight at the tournament that he said, oh yeah, I built like 20 levels and you got to check them out because I think they're pretty good. So I'm going to get back into it. I have a feeling because of that, so I think that game will be sticking around, and it looks like they're going to add some stuff to it. I have a feeling. So, I don't know. It depends on the way you want to play a game.
That's a really good point. For me, that's the kind of way like Mario Kart kind of works too. Like Mario Kart's really fun, especially when you get it at first, and then I mean the campaign mode is kind of you just racing against online computers until you get used to the game, and then you get to play online now, like in today's day and age. But then it's like, I grew so bored with Mario Kart 8. That's because Mario Kart 8 is bad, but like Mario Kart 7, I haven't touched in a while. But then I think it was like last year during like right before finals, I was like, you know what? Let me play Mario Kart 7. And then I was addicted. Like I could not put it down. Like I think I just didn't sleep one night. I was just playing Mario. I was like, holy shit, this game's mad fun. Like it's fun in those kind of bursts. Like these games, like they don't really have that campaign. Like you win, you beat this game. But like if you like play set, man. Like as long as you keep like coming at it, or like every other week or every few months or so, and like, oh shit, what did they change in the game, or what's hot, or I see this guy do this. So, maybe I want to try out that level. Then it's a great game. Like that, I'm telling you, that Pangea, like look that up. It's nuts. It's insanely hard. I think only like 2 people in the world besides himself have beaten it. But it's like, it's great. Like it's fantastic. And it's like now I have a challenge of what's something I want to do.
All right, so Eli's itching to talk about, I think, Tomb Raider. So why don't you talk about that?
Well, not just two. I can talk about Xenoblade. I've put about 15.
Awesome.
I guess I'll start with Xenoblade since that's most relevant to our audience. I put about 15 hours into Xenoblade, I think. Maybe more. Maybe like 17 hours by now. The game is really, really big. Now, I haven't gotten Skells yet, so I know like once I get Skells, I'll be able to traverse things quicker. But so far the game is pretty fun. It's not as good as Xenoblade in my opinion. For me, I feel like Xenoblade had a little bit more of a purpose. Like you really felt like you were doing something, contributing to something, exploring for a reason. Xenoblade is a little more like sandboxy in terms of it drops you into a world and says, alright, just go. And some people will like that more and some people like that less. For me, I usually like to have a little bit more of an objective and like a place to go. But this is a little more open, a little more, more monsters, more missions, less main story missions, and stuff like that.
So how does the story Is there a campaign, and how does it factor in though? Because I'm like
Yeah,
kind of confused.
Yeah,
So,
there's a campaign, but usually before you start a campaign mission, there's like either a minimum level requirement or a minimum like exploration requirement, like you must have explored this percentage amount of the map. Um, so in that, so you can't just go from story mission to story mission to story mission. You kind of have to like in between story missions go out and do stuff. And so that's why I say it's a lot more open because the game doesn't really tell you what to do. You know, you can just explore. I really like the fact that there are different leveled enemies pretty much everywhere. Like, you'll be walking and it'll be, in Xenoblade this happened too, but not to such a great extent, but you'll be walking and you'll see a level 20 enemy next to a level 35 enemy next to a level 70 enemy,
yeah. Like they
and-
travel in herds and there's like a huge enemy. But now I wanted to ask, now you said it's like, okay, there's not as much campaign, they kind of lock it up, right? Now, sandboxing in the fact, is it like Xenoblade's side quest? Like, when like you'd have to like mineral hunt or like help build a town or something like that, or fight a specific monster? Is that like what the side missions are?
yeah,
Or
the side,
like,
yeah,
you're gonna have to back with online play. Do you play with someone or is everyone playing?
Okay.
I don't get that.
Yeah, so there are different types of missions. Some of the side missions are like go gather this amount of material. Some of them are bounty hunts where you have to go out and take out a unique monster. Some of them is just like you have to find treasure. Some of the stuff is you have to go rescue someone in the middle of a monster's lair or something like that. As for online play, I haven't really gotten into it a lot. But from what I understand, it's not like direct online play. It's more like there are missions like, oh, your group of 32 people has to defeat this amount of this enemy. And once you do that, cumulatively, you get a reward.
Okay.
So
It's not like I'm playing with you, like, oh, Eli, do you want to go do this mission?
No.
Okay.
The
Stupid of an idea.
I'm really surprised. Like, first, I have all the patches and stuff installed, which take up like 20 gigabytes, I think, from whatever absurd amount it is. But the loading times are pretty quick, probably around 15 seconds maximum after you die, which isn't terrible.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. But the problem is the game is not very pretty. I talked about that last week. There's pop-in with the textures and with monsters. But yeah, I mean, I think the game is good. If you really like open worlds, I think the game you'll really like it. And I've been on it too, but I usually don't like really long games. I'm one of those guys that would prefer a 15. Yeah, I used to be really into RPGs, but for me, I'd much prefer an RPG to clock in around 30 hours maybe, and then most other games to be done in around 15, and I'd be good with that. So it's definitely going to take me probably a little longer to get through Xenoblade because it is like 80 hours long, but hopefully over winter break I can make a good dent in it. So I've been taking breaks. Do you guys have any other questions about Xenoblade before I move on?
Nope.
I mean, the only thing I was going to ask also was, like, the exploration is, like, exactly like Xenoblade, though, right? With its whack battle system and, it's not as good. Xenoblade, like you said, it's not as good as Xenoblade, and Xenoblade wasn't that good anyway, so it's like...
Well,
like
the combat system is virtually identical. And then, no, I mean, for me, it's not as good as Xenoblade because I prefer to have more of a straight objective. Xenoblade, I don't know.
Like, where to go next instead of like, hey, do 7 things before you can actually do X.
Yeah, well, not even. I mean, it's more like here's 50 things you have to do, like 7 of them before you move on. So it's not.
Though, man. I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't go on. I didn't finish number 50. It's gonna be like, go plant the flower. And I'm like, I gotta plant that flower before I save the world. Right?
It's not so much. It's in order to move on. It's not like you have to complete certain tasks. It's more like you have to explore a certain amount of the map and you have to level up to a certain point. So it's not. Okay. But like if you like open environments, or you like some people I know like that way more, and for them they might like Xenoblade more. But for me, I kind of liked Xenoblade Chronicles X more. But for me, I like Xenoblade Chronicles the original a little more because I felt like it was a little more streamlined, a little more straight in terms of the objective.
So it's like an MMORPG rather than JRPG.
Yes, yeah, a single player MMORPG.
Okay. I get it. I mean, I don't know. I'm like really obviously this is one of the games I want, so that's why I'm like interested. I never really played any MMO ever. I mean, I played Warcraft 3, but I heard that's not World of Warcraft, so like I don't know. I mean, I also played Diablo 2, so like, but that's not
Yeah,
an
I don't know.
Overwatch. I
I
have no
think I don't think it's a bad game. I think you'll like it. I mean, actually, I don't know because you hate everything I do, but
No,
I think
I'm with you. I'm on that same RPG flow where I just don't want to play an 80-hour game. Like, I'd rather play an action RPG, bang out 30 to 50 hours, and then be like, all right,
yeah,
that was a good day,
yeah. I feel like 80 is a little excessive. I don't like the fact that it takes like 30 hours to get a Skell. That annoys
Yeah,
me.
and I heard
But
the Skells have insurance, so if you break them, then you have to pay
oh
for
my gosh,
insurance.
if
And
I
That's,
heard
that's,
like,
that's hilarious.
and apparently you can give them to your teammates too. So if they break them, like it's the same thing. I'm like, that's horse crap.
yeah. Honestly, I'm not. I don't know if I'm committing right now to finishing Xenoblade Chronicles X because it's possible that I might just put it down at one point. I've got so much other stuff to play. My God,
Yeah.
I bought so much stuff on Black Friday. And so another Nintendo game I've been playing a little bit of is SteamWorld Heist,
Oh, nice.
which I've played maybe an hour and a half of, so not a ton. The game is really good, really unique. I'll probably talk about it more on a different occasion, maybe next week. But I really recommend picking it up. Same guys that made SteamWorld Dig. SteamWorld Dig was excellent. SteamWorld Heist is still excellent. It's great. I played it for about an hour, I think, at E3, and it's good.
We were just, me and some friends earlier were all talking about that game, and could you, in a simple, straightforward way, explain what the game is, like what kind of game it is, and more elaborately explain how kind of it works? Because I know it's got strategy, I know it looks like it's got some action elements, some RPG, but exactly what are you doing? Because I love the first SteamWorld, and I know it's different from that, so.
Yeah, except that it won't be simple. The explanation because there's a lot of elements, but it's pretty much if you think of a turn-based strategy game, and then but on
Like
a 2D
Fire Emblem? Like, is that what you're talking about? Like Fire Emblem, or can you compare it to something else?
like
Fire Emblem is an SRPG, and,
yeah,
that's different.
think like Fire Emblem or maybe XCOM,
Okay.
and then but it's on a 2D plane, so that's what's unique about it.
Like Valkyria Chronicles, man.
Yeah.
Is Valkyria Chronicles I've never played it on a 2D plane.
No,
3D,
but
but
it looks basically like Valkyria Chronicles, where you move one character at a time, and then you can shoot the other character with your gun.
from a
And
distance,
so on.
like the only difference
Yeah.
with Valkyria Chronicles on a 3D plane.
So
and
you'll
it's
move.
terrible.
So it's grid based, but it's on a 2D plane, and it's like
When you shoot, is it like an action game when you're doing the shooting,
Yeah,
or is it more like Xenoblade where you just press a button that says shoot?
No, it is action, but it's not like it's still turn based. So it's not like you're rushed into it, but you actually will you can aim the gun and you'll choose how to shoot it and who to shoot it at, and like where to aim it, and you could miss. You could get a headshot, which will do more damage. You could, it's you. Like, and some guns have a laser, so you know where you're shooting. Other guns, you kind of have to.
Wait, is this the one with the robot with the green eyes, SteamWorld Dig, or is this the one with Abraham Lincoln? Or am I way off on all of them?
It's the robot.
Yeah.
Robots.
The one with the robot with the green eyes, the gold robot.
I don't know if it's green eyes, but
Yes,
I mean,
he's thinking of the right.
Yeah,
other
all right,
guns.
cool. I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to be talking out of my butt.
Yeah.
It's okay,
Other
we're
guns,
used to it, Mike.
Like other guns, like the revolvers and stuff, they don't really have sights. So I mean, you just kind of have to guesstimate that you're getting the right angle, and that you're aiming correctly, because there's no laser. So I mean, in that respect, it's a good game. There's a strategy involved. It's fun to play. There are also items like grenades and stuff. So I mean, it's a really good game. It's supposed to be long, 15 or 20 hours. It's on sale right now for 20% off until the end of the year, I think. I recommend it. I think it's good.
Cool.
I wanted to quick ask a question, looping back to Xenoblade, but I thank you for that explanation, because I think that game, I love the first one. So even though that your description makes me think I might not love the style of the new SteamWorld, I might try it at some point when I have time because I really do like the first one, so I want to see what this team did, because they and your recommendation means something to me. So maybe at some point.
Yeah, and maybe check out some YouTube videos and stuff so you know also what's going on.
I'm just more of an action and an arcade and a twitchy kind of guy, which is why I'm not the kind of guy who's going to like run out and buy Xenoblade. I really gave the first one a try. I liked it for what it is, but I'm not an RPG guy anymore, and I'm not into the kind of game where you don't have direct action control. I
totally get it.
So when I play video games, I want to play video games like I play like in the arcade when I was a kid. I don't necessarily want to sit there and press a button and watch an animation or whatever. But my question was with Xenoblade, something I want to ask, and I don't think it'd be a spoiler, but if anyone really cares, I wanted to ask one thing about Xenoblade. Is it connected to the original Xenoblade, like plot wise that you can tell, or is it completely Final Fantasy, like different universe? Okay.
There's some like species and some enemies that are kind of similar to stuff that you'd see in Xenoblade Chronicles, the original, but storyline-wise, nothing is related. All new characters, all new world.
So Xenoblade is almost like Nintendo's way of going at the Final Fantasy thing, where it's like a universe, but it's not a...
Yeah.
There's not some obvious contiguous like plot line or something like that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So that kind of eliminates my second question, because I was going to ask if shirtless Shulk makes an appearance in this one.
No, Shulk is completely not in this game. No character from Xenoblade is in this game.
And Shulk's shirtless torso is also absent, so bummer.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Absent abs. All right, so let's get moving on to some news, because there's quite a bit.
Oh, wait, Tomb Raider. Sorry, I'll talk about that really quick.
All right.
Game is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through to the actual rating of tombs. I'm really confused because rating tombs is optional, but they're really good. They're really fun. And the game is just excellent overall. I'm really enjoying it. I'll talk about it more next week.
Quick question. Is there much different to it than the original?
I mean, different, like it's a different environment, it's a different world, a different story.
So no.
I mean, sure, the weapons are the same, but like... Actually, maybe there will be some new weapons down the line. I'm only halfway through, but like in reality, most games are the same. Like you play through a new Mario game, and it's really the same. I mean, they might introduce a new suit or something. So I don't know.
So it's not the same. All levels are different. Come on, man. Go.
I mean, I don't know how to answer your question.
Okay, yeah, I guess it's kind of vague. I was just wondering if there was anything that really jumped out as, wow, this game feels so much different.
No, I mean, sure, it's more Tomb Raider. So if you like the first one, you like the new one. If you didn't like the first one, you won't like the new one.
Okay.
But like nothing jumped out at me. Nothing's revolutionary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more of Tomb Raider.
More of the same. Got it. All right, so let's move on to some amiibo stuff. It's not much there. A Swedish retailer listed Roy and Ryu amiibo are coming for February 29th, so early in the year. I think there's one coming in January. I forget if there was or not.
Lucas, I think. Possibly Lucas.
Yeah, maybe. The Shovel Knight content is going to be available at the Amiibo's launch. I think it was like last week or the other week. I wasn't too sure, but it looks like it will be. And the Minecraft community made
it. Right. The guy said he was interested in doing Nintendo DLC, and it would be Tingle if he did it.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that like 3 months ago, and I was like, why would he take Tingle? But you were right.
Yeah, I don't know. So something happened this week. That special announcement I said don't bother getting hyped for because it probably is jack all. Turns out that it was Minecraft getting a port on the Wii U, which Eli was actually wrong about because he was like, oh, they had this listing and it never amounted to anything, and then like the next day or so after that, it's like, no, it amounted to something. It's just no one cares about it.
Yeah, that was
amazing. I actually Xbox game on Nintendo.
I was actually amazed by that. I was like, you guys called that. I was saying, like, I was kind of amazed that, like, we talked about that, and then, like, it was, like, a day later or whatever that it was like, no, it really is Minecraft, so... But you guys think it's like forgettable information? You don't think it's going to sell some Wii U systems or whatever?
I'm so frustrated.
Okay, it's not going to sell any.
I know some people who wanted to buy it because of that.
It's not going to sell systems because I think it's too late at this point in time. But
Nintendo fans are such flippin' crybabies about Minecraft. and it annoys the hell out of me. Because all the comments were, oh, Microsoft should have included something Wii U special. It's like, okay, listen, if you're not going to buy Minecraft because there's not something Wii U related, then you wouldn't have bought it anyway. You're just looking for a reason to complain and not to buy the game. And I'm just tired of it. Like, if every game had to use Wii, I mean, that's the reason why third parties aren't bringing their games to the Wii U, is not only because of terrible sales, is because they feel obligated to use the gamepad. And when Nintendo fans complain that third parties aren't using the gamepad, you're only adding to that. Why the hell would they spend millions of dollars? Well, not millions.
It wouldn't be millions. If they spent millions porting it to the Wii U, they wouldn't bother with it in the first place.
Well,
Put it
I
that
mean,
way.
some ports. I don't know how much ports cost, but I'm saying whatever the extra $100,000 it costs to have gamepad integration, if it's not going to make any sort of difference, and it won't, and people are complaining for nothing, and it's really annoying me immensely because those people are complaining about it wouldn't have bought it anyway.
I don't know about that because I don't know. The people who bought Minecraft, I think, have it's still probably selling well, but I think the majority of people who bought Minecraft have already bought Minecraft, and there's not much of a point of even putting it on the Wii U if you don't. I don't know. It just seems like a really stupid choice to be like, here, 2 years later, we're gonna put Minecraft on this system that, for one thing, no one's really playing anyway. So it seems like a wasted effort to begin with, and then. The one game that this system would be perfect for is Minecraft because you have the inventory system, and I can't really see it being that difficult to put basically the pause screen on the bottom screen. I mean, all it is really just some touch interfaces, and that's about it. Like that. I don't want to come off as oh, I know how to do this and that, blah, blah. But what seems like a very simple thing to implement would have gone a long way. And the thing is, it's not like they cut out, usually when we get a port to the Wii U, they cut out online or this or all the other basic features. They haven't actually done this with Minecraft. They've had it on the same level as the other ones. So I forget where I listed it here, but basically it has 4-player split screen and it has 8-player online and all this other stuff that's with it. Keyboard support for chat and it even voice chat on it. So it's like they still ported it over with the same level as the other ones.
Yeah, and
So,
let's make this clear. Not only does it have online, but it has voice chat, okay? It's something you won't get from other Nintendo games.
But I'm saying they didn't spend any time to cut out the other features, so I don't see why they didn't add in the inventory system because it would have gone a long way. I think they did say someone asked on Twitter oh, does it have an inventory system, and they're not at this time or some I forget the exact wording, but it sounded like it could be coming in the future, but they didn't explicitly say it was or was not.
They could do it, but they probably want to see, the sales and the amount of people playing it online.
Yeah, I guess so. But the weird thing about that is if they're waiting for that, it's okay, well, the people may not buy it because it doesn't have this unique feature in it, so it's a catch-22. I don't know. It's even without looking at just the fact that, regardless of how it's ported and whatnot, it's just very. It's I don't know. Nintendo's yay, we're having Minecraft. It's this game is 2 years. The last system to get this was the Vita a year ago. It's Nintendo, the Vita beat you out.
It's that hard to develop.
I don't know. It's bad when the Vita beats you out, and the Vita doesn't get any games.
Can we say at least better late than never? I mean, who developed? First of all, who developed this? Does it? Who did the legwork to get this over here? Did Nintendo have anything to do with it themselves?
No.
Or did someone?
It was the developer itself, Mojang, and then Microsoft just published it.
Okay, so then let's look at let's look at it from a different angle just for a second, because I hear you. I mean, good grief. I mean, first of all, Nintendo passed on Minecraft, if I remember correctly. So egg on your face right there. Back in the day, if that's true. And but the second thing is the one thing that does occur to me is kids are dumb, and they don't care. If they have Minecraft, it is one of the greatest games of all time for the current young generation. And if they have a Wii U, they might buy it again. It's hard to predict. I don't have kids, so I don't know. But if it's that popular, they might just spend the money on it. And if Nintendo didn't have to pay any money or set any development resources teams aside to get it over to Wii U. Hey, you know what? We're always saying, why don't the third parties publish on Wii U? Yes, it's ridiculous that it took this long. It's insane. It's embarrassing. Who knows if there were business deals involved or whatever, or it was just the fact that the technology's tricky for Wii U or whatever. But hey, it's not hurting anybody. I've never even, played Minecraft, and I'm not going to buy it. But there's kids out there, and they buy Just Dance every year. So, maybe Minecraft comes in the Christmas stocking this year too for some kids. So you never know.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily like I was blaming the developers and whatnot, but it can go both ways because the developer could be like, okay, we're working at this deal, sure, we'll put Minecraft on it, but Nintendo could have been more upfront, like, hey, this would be a perfect game to use the gamepad. Could we work something out for you to do that? But I don't know. At this point, it's like the game's been out too long. I don't think enough people on the system will care enough to make that worth it.
Honestly,
so
I think the
I don't
biggest
know.
issue
You're right. I was
isn't
at GameStop.
I'll be
when,
wondering if people
Minecraft-
buy it in the first place. I mean, it's getting a
No,
retail
I
release
think
too.
No,
Honestly,
when
I think-
Minecraft came out to Xbox, it was everywhere. Like, it was legit. I went in the GameStop, I was like, the hell? Like, it was Minecraft everywhere. And I'm like, oh yeah, Xbox bought Minecraft. Well, that sucks, because that game sucks. But I didn't pay it no mind, but it was legit everywhere, dude. So it was like, Nintendo missed out. Like, it's too late now. It's too late.
Honestly, I
So-
think that the biggest deal isn't the fact that there are no gamepad features. I think it's just too expensive. I think $30 is too much to ask for Minecraft nowadays.
Yeah.
It should be 20. That's my issue. Not the not adding features.
Yeah.
We're not gonna buy it, so let's stop complaining about it.
Well, I did buy it, and I think it was not worth it then. And I got it on sale on PC when it was like $20. I think that was like before it even was on any other storefront too. I was like, oh, I'll try
my
out this
gosh,
game,
I
and then I'm
bought it,
like,
yeah.
I made a house and like a really tall, I don't know, I made a house and I like dug into the ground like a mile, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't know what to do.
I put I think 250 hours into Minecraft.
Oh my
I had a
gosh.
phase in ninth grade, I think, and over the span of a month over the summer, I played 7 hours a day. It was really bad, and then I stopped. I saw myself, and I'm like, I can't go down this hole. No
the
pun
literal
intended.
hole, and yeah, and the figure.
Come on, that pun was intended, bro.
It was intended halfway through.
All right, so moving on. Devil's Third released, and no one remembered or acknowledged it, except for maybe Flea.
I wrote an article about this. I don't know if you saw it, but pretty much Nintendo sent the game out today. Did you hear about the shipments? Only 420 shipments across the
Yeah,
U.S.
that's bad.
It's pathetic.
I
No,
have to wonder why they bothered publishing it if they were not gonna.
Because
put
people
it
were
up in-
screaming about it.
Yeah, but who cares if a couple of people scream if you're gonna lose like hundreds of thousands for putting
Hey,
out
those
this thing?
420 people that bought the game were screaming pretty loud on the internet.
I don't know.
So-
I don't know if there's that many people.
The one thing about it is that when a game ships in that small of a number, if you're kind of a collector and you want to maybe cash in, you might want to pick up a copy, keep it in the plastic. Someday it might be worth something if it turns out to be a really rare game if they only publish it a little bit. Just saying, because I might be one of those guys.
Last story, Xenoblade.
Yeah, but
That's
Unoclay, the game has to be at least somewhat good for it to get.
I beg to differ. Have you heard of a
No,
little
I know.
cartridge called
There's-
Stadium Events? A little cartridge called Stadium Events you could pay for a house with right now. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what about the stupid Olympic games for the NES, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, but I'll be the devil's advocate here. Get it? Devil's advocate. Like
No, you'll be the third devil.
yeah, I'll be
Okay.
No, I'm thinking I when I have some free time and after I get past other better games, I might buy it. I mean, I'm not seeing what everyone else is hating exactly about it. I know the arguments. I know it doesn't look as good on stuff on other systems, and I'm not even into hyper-violent stuff like that much, at least not for the sake of it. But I watched a few videos, and I was like, I honestly am not picking up on what the revulsion is, about the game.
I'm not sure. Maybe read a few reviews because, like, I think the average on Metacritic right now is a 44, which is the same ranking as Amiibo Festival.
I love that game. Just kidding.
I know. I know there are some stout defenders of Amiibo. Well, I think the interesting thing about Devil's Third, though, is if you look, the spread is a little more mixed. Like, there were a hell of a lot of 1s and 2s, but there were actually, like, a few 7, 8s, and 9s, if you look at it. So, I don't know, maybe it will be the game for you, but, I mean, Nintendo didn't feature it on its eShop. The only way to get it is to search for it specifically. Left it out of E3. They pretty much sent a game. Kotaku titled their article, Nintendo sent a game out to die today, but it was only like a paragraph long. I published a similar type of article, and it said, did Nintendo send Devil's Third out to die? And it was pretty much everything they did that they could have done differently. And yeah, they too bad, because I was actually excited for it when it was first announced.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see. I mean, like, if I'm gonna get a game, I desperately, I must have been saying this for more than a year now. I desperately need to play Bayonetta at some point because I really know I like that game.
Don't do it.
Unoclay, I was just gonna bring up Bayonetta. So I was gonna say, I think the problem people have with Devil's Third is it just doesn't look like there's really anything special to it. It looks like a very generic action kind of game, and I was gonna say a better version would be Bayonetta because in Devil's Third it's all about like guns and swords, and Bayonetta is all about guns and swords. So if you're thinking about getting Devil's, hold on, if you think about getting Devil's Third,
Devil May Cry. How about that? If they have an HD collection, you can play the first 3, and it's cheaper than shitty ass Bayonetta. And Bayonetta's overrated and overhyped, and Platinum Games is terrible.
Doesn't matter because it's made by the same person anyway. But
I know.
I was gonna say, if you're thinking about getting Devil's Third, you better play it before Bayonetta 2, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna like Bayonetta 2 more. At least that's my thought.
No, I think you're probably right, because the style and everything I've seen about Bayonetta, like, it's right up my alley. I just can't afford to play it right now because I've heard notoriously it screws up your Smash game because the button layout. So
we have two people who have documented that. Me and one of Unoclay's friends.
Yeah, so I'm trying to avoid playing it any time when I'm like kind of like hot on Smash, like I've been kind of for a year. So it's kind of a reason I haven't played it yet. But yeah, I hear you. It's just funny because like it's one of those things that as a pretty solidly retro and Nintendo only player, like without really playing the other current gen systems, sometimes I have a little bit of a blind spot where I don't notice things like textures and kind of the things that pop out at other people as easily, that they're like, oh, this game looks like crap, or this game doesn't look any fun, and I watch it and I'm kind of sitting here like, I don't know, it looks like reasonably fun, like I don't know, but I hear you, and I know the reviews have been kind of mixed, at the very generous way to put it, for the game, but who knows? Yeah, anyway. So, well, thanks for the input. I'll let you know if I ever get around to playing it. If I maybe get it for $10 or something, or $20.
Yeah, I'll buy it for $10.
Sure.
Yeah, it may just be one of those things that a lot of people give it flack, and then you play it and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Yeah, I loved Other M. I'll still say it, and we can table that. I know most people hate Other M, but I loved it, and that game gets more hate than anything on the planet, And I thought it was.
It only got hate because they're Nintendo fans, and they'll hate anything. But if you look at the actual reviews for the game, not that many people hated it.
Yeah, true that.
Cool. So one thing that happened this week that people are making fun of is...
Wait. I heard Other M before I
we're not getting into that. There's
no. That game's a good gameplay game, but it's so bad for the Metroid universe and with Samus's character. That's what makes it terrible. It's like, oh my god, shut the hell up. Let me skip every scene ever. But I don't mind solving this kind of 2D, 3D puzzle thing. And the action sequences were kind of cool, but a little bit on the easy side.
That's actually the most temperate perspective I would have ever expected from you, Mike. I like when you didn't say anything and explode like that game, like when I mentioned it.
I mean, it's not like Skyward Sword. Like I played some bad Wii games that people think are good, like Skyward Sword, Galaxy 2. Like No More Heroes getting overrated. And everyone's like, oh, it's so underrated. Suda 51. I'm like, all right, let me play it. It's whatever. I mean, Okami's like one of the worst things ever. Like I'd rather have you poke my eyes than me play.
Here we go. Tune in for my corner of hate.
But there was something else I was about to say, but then you made me just get into blind fury of terrible games. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Shit.
All right, so we'll move on. Yeah, something weird happened this week. Super Mario Maker got DLC, but some rather unfitting DLC based off of the Mercedes GLA car.
Nice.
So it for Mario Kart it made sense because like okay it kind of breaks it because it's a realistic car in a cartoony kart racing game, but at least it's still related. They're both vehicles, whatever. This doesn't make any sense at all because what the heck does a car have to do with a platformer? And then people went crazy with it and they're like, oh man, next thing GLA and Smash. I posted
Wait,
a picture
what
in the
was that?
comment.
What was that last thing you said? I didn't quite catch what you're saying. Like you said in Smash. I didn't
Okay, yeah. So people are laughing at the fact that Mercedes is getting all this, getting their hand in all this Nintendo content with Mario Kart and now Mario Maker. Like next up, GLA for Smash.
Okay, I must not know what GLA is, but
It's
sorry to
it's
confuse
the
the
it's
joke.
just the name model of the car.
Oh, I get it. Okay, right on. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense they put that car in Mario Maker, but they had
No.
that existing deal. I mean, it's pure and simple advertising and, whatever. It's so
Well, the
strange.
funny thing is when I first saw the car, I'm like, is this still the DeLorean? Because it looks like because it's 8-bit and whatnot, and it has to be angled, of course, because it can't be round. It reminds me of the DeLorean, so I want people to make like Back to the Future levels with this car because it looks so cool.
Yeah, I don't have any clue why this seems like a good idea to them, unless Mercedes came to Nintendo and said, we want to cross promote with you, and Nintendo doesn't have to do anything, and they were like, okay, fine, sure, it sounds great, like who
Yeah,
knows?
it's
It's so
it's
bizarre.
not
It
really
really
fitting.
is
It's
bizarre.
just like here's your new hot thing. Can we shove a car in it? It's like yeah, whatever. We're getting money.
Yeah.
So finally, the Smash Brothers Direct was announced. It's coming by the time the podcast is uploaded tomorrow, so December 15th on Tuesday. And there's also maintenance coming today on Monday when this is uploaded. So if you want to stay away from leaks, don't go on anything basically, because someone's gonna leak it or a website's gonna report it or whatever. But
That's a good point.
this
That's a good
is
point.
this is interesting. It's the last Smash Bros. Related direct we're getting, and there's just a recently translated interview with Sakurai saying like, yeah, they're wrapping up DLC. So basically, what's announced in here is gonna be the last bit of it. Um, I don't
Yeah.
think everything is gonna be I don't know, available all at once like Ryu. I think that was just kind of a lucky thing. They'll probably have like Cloud released the day of, and then maybe show like two other characters that are released in the future and whatnot. So
Yeah, I'm super pumped for it. I can't be more pumped to see what if they're gonna at least tell us what the winners of the ballot were. Mike, what's the word on the street? Are you hearing anything? Any rumors? Anything interesting from the Smash scene of what people think is coming this Tuesday?
Nah, I mean, today the big phony today was Rabio from Link Between Mediocre, and
ouch.
I agree
that
with
came in. It's only alright. That's it. But that was like the false today. And then I mean, people have been saying Wolf for the last month.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of blind ambition and gotta make a reason for Wolf when it's like, I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, if Wolf would come, it's just because hey, we already have this character and we're gonna HD skin him up. And I was like, yeah, I could see that being lazy, but. No, Sakurai kept it. He's been keeping it underground. I mean, he kept Ryu underground like really well. You know what I mean? Like there's no data miners or anything. Like the only people who found out was when there was a quick patch, like to fix something on the 3DS, and that's how they found 4 character slots. And
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit, is Ryu actually coming to Smash? But there actually was no data mining at all for the last patch. So, and the data mining, like legitimately, I think it like leads back to actually Mario or something like that. Like there's actually not a character at all.
Huh. Interesting. I'm just pumped. Mike, did we ever go around here and say who your dream vote was? I think we did that already, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, I always say Banjo-Kazooie because like that's the
Oh,
character that
right,
should have been in the game. Like,
right.
Yeah.
that'd be cool. My friend Phil wants Dixie really bad. And I'm like, I could see that. But I mean, if it was like Banjo or like for me, Bomberman would be pretty cool too. Only because like I
And that would be cool.
Like,
Matt,
Bomberman 64 is awesome. Bomberman Hero is kind of fun. I mean, I loved all the Super Bomberman. And I was like, yeah,
Matt,
man, this.
Matt's a banjo guy yourself, right, Matt? That's kind of your dream character, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Out
That's
of Yeah, it's weird because some of my other choices are less realistic, but at least it's
it's
easier for
hard.
Nintendo. Like Namco's making the game, and I'm like, it'd be cool to have Agumon, so like, because they're already talking to each other, but the likelihood of that is like next to nothing. And then when I thought we might have been getting first party DLC, I'm like, I'd like Vati, but I don't think they're gonna bring that character back.
Right.
So it's like Banjo and Kazooie. While there would be like a lot of headway for them to get through, that's more realistic than the other options.
Eli, who's yours? I don't remember if you've ever said who your dream characters would be.
I think I wanted Shovel Knight and I wanted Bayonetta.
Totally, those are both good. The Shovel Knight's a really solid call. I mean, I know they're saying that amiibo isn't linked, but I've always thought that was like.
Well, and the other thing, people are just like, oh, indie games, all these Nintendo characters have been around for so long, and Shovel Knight's been only around for like a year, but it's like, well, not only is the game just really good and pretty much found a home on a Nintendo platform, but
No, it's better on every other system.
but
That's it.
he would work. Like, he would work as a solid character.
would
Like,
work.
I envision the
He would
moves in
work.
my head on how it would work. So
He would work. He's a classic character in that sense that he's got all those sub weapons to choose from that they could build off of. He's got the look. He's got he's like Toon Link with his little shovel that he can hop on your head and shit. So
He's basically ripped from that era, a
Yeah.
mascot like platformer.
I would be totally pumped if Shovel Knight came in. I never played Banjo-Kazooie. I know it's heresy, but I never played it, and so I don't have that relationship you guys have there. And I actually have never played a Bomberman level game either. So I want to correct both of these things someday, but I haven't gotten around to it. But that's cool.
I think Bomberman might be like neat, but I don't think he'd be able to separate himself as much. I would feel like he would be Sonic, where it's like, okay, most of his moves are based on one thing. Although Bomberman does have a bunch of different types of bombs, so that could be neat. But I think if Konami wasn't gonna put in Snake and they were gonna do another character, since they have the rights to Bomberman, I think what's his name, Simon Belmont would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be classic, utterly. No, I have no hope for any
A
of
lot
my.
of people want
I don't think.
Like, I think that's a common one. I've heard that like a lot of people want that, which would be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I'm down.
Konami doesn't want to have much to do with the gaming industry,
Just
it would be a miracle if Snake came back, put it that way, let alone any other character.
Yeah, if Konami would talk to Nintendo and do that, that would be the miracle in itself. But yeah, none of my. I like hearing you guys because none of my real dream characters at this point, now that they've put in Duck Hunt Dog and stuff like that, really are even serious. Because for me, like I've been jokingly, semi-seriously wishing they'd put in characters from like Maniac Mansion or something totally insane, like just something so nutty that it doesn't.
I wouldn't mind Tails, to be honest. I mean, like I would like that.
Tails.
I mean,
Tails, right on, man.
yeah, like miles Tails per hour would be really cool, man. I really, like in a unique kind of way. Like I mean, maybe his recovery would be similar to Duck Hunt. Like hopefully they don't give him like any of his stupid machinery things. Like they just kind of make him like in a sense where he's got a lot of attacks in Sonic Adventure 1. So yeah.
That's weird that you say no machinery, because I always think of Tails with machinery, especially in Sonic Battle. He has a bunch of moves like that, where I think they probably pull from. But moving on.
It would more like they pull from Sonic Battle rather than Sonic Adventure 1, But,
yeah.
I mean, he should, like, it would be cool if he had, like, one version of his spin dash, then he has, like, maybe, like, his attack, like, when you get the medallion in Sonic Adventure, he can, like, attack with his tails and all that stuff, so, we'll see.
Alright, so moving on, Nintendo patented a freeform display. So what this is basically you can have a screen and cut out holes in it and still have the screen work. It's really weird technology. Basically the example that we used a year ago is like a car dashboard where it has holes cut out for speedometers and things like that. So that's what it is. So a year ago, there was a rumor that Nintendo would use Sharp's freeform display in their next hardware. It wasn't specified what. And this kind of made sense because Nintendo's already worked with Sharp to make the 3DS screen, like the 3D screen to make that work. And then recently we got this patent saying like Nintendo's using this freeform display. And what's more interesting is that the article that said this from a year ago said that this freeform display would enter mass production in early 2016. And last week we had a rumor that the NX was going to start production early 2016. So it seems like this is one of those things that one of those rumors that might actually come to fruition.
God, I really hope not. Please, no. Please.
Why? What's your issue with that?
Basically, it's basically another gamepad.
The problem is, okay, gamepad or not, I mean, it's arguable whether it's actually close to the gamepad, because I don't think it is. I think it's more touch screening than that, looking at the pictures.
It says it's for a controller, and it's basically a more ergonomic gamepad.
And, I mean, the problem with that is, in my opinion anyway, is that Nintendo can only succeed once it gets the third parties back, at least in a partial way. And third parties will not come back if their controller's fucked up. So... I mean, I'm very adamant about this. I think their controller needs to be a normal controller. And I'm more intrigued, I don't know if you have it on the news, but the other patent that they had about the cluster-based gaming. Do you have that one?
Cloud gaming?
No, cluster.
Oh, no, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, okay. So we can maybe talk about that after this one, but I don't want a weird controller. I want a normal controller that comes bundled with every single system that will play normal ass games.
I think
there's a system for you, and it's on the PlayStation podcast. That's the problem with that argument. It's never happened.
Has sold 30 million units in 2 years, and the Wii U has sold 10 million in 2. I mean, in 3.
Nintendo's never going to do it. I mean, it's just that's not their MO.
Listen, it's not about the system. The system can be unique, but the control. I mean. If the next Tomb Raider comes out, just from a recent example, Rise of the Tomb Raider, it comes out for PS4 next year, Nintendo could come up and be like, hey, Square, you're going multi-platform, why don't you come to the NX too as a launch game? And Square Enix will be like, you have a fucked up controller. How are we gonna make Tomb Raider for your system?
So here's one thing. It didn't specify if it was bundled in or not, and from the looks of it, it looks like it would be useful for as a handheld where like you don't have to. So with a handheld, you have all this crappy plastic around it and this small screen because you need the plastic shell to fit all the controllers and the hardware and whatnot. So with this screen, you can just kind of eliminate the plastic crap and still maintain like a large screen. So what I'm hoping this is if you want the portable version, you can just buy this controller and play it on that. But if you want, if you just want the console with the regular controller, you can have that. And then if you want the portable one, you just buy this different controller. Because I do agree with Eli that I would like a regular controller again. And not even just because they haven't really proved that they have any games to really back it up, because they'll be like, here's our new innovation, we're not doing jack shit with it.
Here's your Nintendo Land of the NX.
But I just want like a comfortable controller again. Like, honestly, the gamepad's not that ergonomic. Reaching the L and R buttons is really difficult, more difficult than it should be. Like, ever since Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze came out, I'm like, okay, I have a Pro Controller, I don't really need it for this game. And then from then on, I just never used the gamepad, because the Pro Controller is just more comfortable, and there wasn't any reason to use the gamepad. So
I've never bought one. I've told myself 5 years ago. But yeah, I'll agree on that. I mean, I've held
Nintendo put all this money in development to make something that's not even really being used. So it's like, why bother doing that again? And especially after the Wii U, the last thing you want to do is say, here's a Wii U again.
Part of the reason that they're obviously, I would argue, doing it is because of backwards compatibility. Because what I suspect
you could still say like have the controller connect to the console. You don't have to remake the controller again.
What I think this is going to be, and this is based on the two different patent leaks, like the cloud gaming patent thing that came out like 2 weeks ago, and then this more current controller leak, is that there's going to be the portable. I mean, we're all speculating here. Let's put an asterisk on this, but like that it looks like there's going to be the portable device that's like the on-the-go / Vita quotes type thing, like your new 3DS. It's going to be the on-the-go that syncs with the system when you come home, boosts the system's power. But then this other controller is the controller that does ship with the system as your kind of pro controller, so to speak. And I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but if it isn't impossible. Let's put it out there. It's not impossible. This controller would just be a second screen that shows what's on the TV. They don't have to go nuts with it, and that they take into account the idea that people don't want to develop for the system because that they don't want to develop for the second controller. What's to stop them from designing it such that they say to every developer out there, they say, you don't have to do a thing in your dev kit. There's a switch that you can turn on and off that says broadcast TV to controller. You're done. Nothing more to do here. And really, because I mean, they're not unaware. I have to believe they're not unaware of that barrier that they faced with the Wii U, and that developing, the controller is not the reason necessarily that people do not develop for the Wii U, is another point. It's because that their games don't sell when they make them on Nintendo. It's not, I just don't know that like Nintendo putting out a really vanilla, boring controller that's just like a PlayStation and an Xbox controller is the solution to their problems, because I don't see it as the big barrier personally.
But I mean, what you
But you're the
described
one
was
that's buying their systems. They got to look at someone who's not.
What you described was just the Wii U again, and Nintendo could have said to Wii U developers technically, like, yeah, you don't have to do anything with this screen, but it's like, if they're doing that for the NX, it's like, well, we already dealt with this problem before, and it didn't pan out so well, so we're just not going to bother. Like, I don't know. I don't mind if they do something interesting, as long as it doesn't screw up like the regular way of playing.
And not only that, but it adds the cost of the console if you got a fancy-ass screen controller. That's another problem I have with it. If it adds $50 to the cost of the console instead of adding in a few extra gigs of RAM or whatnot, that's going to turn off some gamers.
Well, I was going to say, maybe it's like that controller it coincides with their stupid mobile development kind of thing, and so they don't want people to feel gypped if they buy it on mobile and they're not able to play it at home. But I mean, I don't want to speculate at all,
Yeah. I mean, what I would say is that the one thing is that Nintendo is never going. I pray personally, just to say it, just to put it out there, I don't want to see them try to be more like the other systems, and I say that knowing that might mean selling less, and I know that might be a backwards way to look at it, and I hear everything you guys are saying and I respect it, but for me, it's like the solution for Nintendo isn't to become another robot like the other consoles, where they move more and more to being just like those other consoles. It's not what I would want to see. And I mean, hey, the Wiimote's only one generation ago, and it sold more consoles than anything else on the planet, So let's give it, let's keep that in mind. Who knows when their next big hit is coming? Sure that this generation didn't work out, but it's worth. I don't know. Yeah. Wait to see.
The Wii came at the right time before smartphone gaming, and it was cheap, and casuals were getting into it, and it was simple. So I don't know. I think that was lightning in a bottle for them. It was just the right thing at the right time, but.
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't mind if they do. Well, I already said I don't mind if they do something new, but I don't know. I don't think that necessarily changing the controller or whatever, or not. I don't think not changing the controller means they're exactly like the other people, because there's things that Nintendo do that are strictly Nintendo, like Miiverse. You're not going to get something like that on the other system, and I'm not saying Miiverse is a system seller, but if they're on the same hardware level as them, it doesn't necessarily mean that Nintendo is losing themselves either. The way they approach design for UI or games and whatnot is where they really shine through, I think.
Sure.
Where they're still able to show off oh, that's distinctly Nintendo.
Can we all agree that we're going to have to wait and see?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So what was your cluster thing, Eli?
So there was another trademark that came out. I forgot who. Extreme Tech is the one who analyzes this website, which is cluster based, which is not necessarily cloud, but it's you can connect supplemental processing power. So it's like the cloud, but actually physical form.
Yeah,
so it's pretty much.
I'm
What?
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I said didn't we discuss that a little bit last week? I think we did. I think we went over it a little bit. I'm not sure.
It sounds
Anyway,
somewhat familiar, but
yeah, go
I
on.
don't remember.
You're doing a great job explaining. I apologize.
I thought we just discussed Cloud last week, but it's pretty much you can like buy extra RAM or whatever and just connect it, or whatnot, or whatever you need extra CPU power, just connect it to whatever console it is. So it pretty much make it so you never have to buy another console again because you can just put your parts and connect it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. It sounds really innovative. Like that whole idea that if people aren't familiar with that you would somehow the processing power would be augmented by other people's systems or the cluster, as you put it. I had never heard that term, but it's really interesting to me. So
Yeah, I mean Nintendo's pretty much patenting everything under the sun right now, so we really don't know.
Yeah, who really knows? There's like 20 different patents out. So there's a quick couple of things. Dragon Quest is having their 30th anniversary presentation in January. I thought this might be interesting because they might talk about Dragon Quest 11 coming to the NX, depending on what's happening. I'm thinking Nintendo might do a January Direct. That's not necessarily in stone or anything because they've had, I think last year they didn't go until March, but it might be a possibility that Dragon Quest will say like, oh yeah, it's also coming to the NX and blah blah blah, and say something like that. So the Pokemon Go developer Niantic is opening a Japanese studio. This is really weird because it's a San Francisco-based studio, so it's not like, oh yeah, we're building another studio in like a city like next to us to expand our business. It's like we're moving it to like another location of the earth. Like there's clearly a specific reason for why they're doing this, and it's not outlined. One person thinks it's so they can build Nintendo mobile games more closely. I think they were close, but I don't think that's it. I think it's just that the Pokemon company wants Niantic to make more Pokemon mobile games because Pokemon Go isn't related to Nintendo's mobile entries. It's entirely separate. So I think Pokemon's just like, hey, you're making this thing. Why don't you make a bunch of other stuff for us? So that'll be neat to see what turns out. Hopefully it's not just regular mobile games with Pokemon slapped on it like most of them are. And speaking of Pokemon, Sceptile has been announced as a playable character for a Pokken tournament. So a lot of people were asking him for him to be included as Smash Bros. DLC because we have a fire starter and a water starter, and people are like, well, they got to put a grass starter in there, right? And no, they don't, because Sakurai doesn't think that way, but people were hoping for it, and it looks like Pokken Tournament's going to deliver on it, so I don't know, he seems like a pretty cool character. Mike, I know you're playing Pokken Tournament. Are you particularly interested in Sceptile?
I didn't get to watch his trailer, but I'm biased and hate that specific Pokemon generation of games. But I mean, I'm gonna give everyone a shot. But where's the Dragonite gonna come, man? When are we gonna get a Dragonite? All right, or like someone cool like Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, you know?
Yeah, or Halucha.
Yeah,
Or
I don't
Slurpuff.
know, or Professor Oak. Like, come on.
Professor Oak. He takes pictures and tells you how bad they are.
Yeah, until you actually take a good one, and he'll tell you how awful it is. He's like, just quit. He's like, go train Pokemon. I'm like, that's what I wanted to do, but you gave me this camera instead. All right?
Two quick things. So if you want Rare Replay on Wii U, apparently you can just ask Rare. So someone asked Microsoft Studios on Twitter if they could see Rare Replay on Wii U because Minecraft is coming, which doesn't make sense because they're separate things and unrelated. But they asked anyway, and Microsoft Studios was like, well, if you want that, like, talk to Rare, something along
I
the
don't think
lines
it's
of
up
that.
to Rare. I think it's up to Nintendo.
Yeah, the weird thing is, though, I would think
I think Nintendo's
Microsoft
hubris would.
I think, wouldn't Microsoft not want to publish it on another console because it's Rare and it's their exclusive?
Yeah, it's one of their
Like, I
selling
don't really
points.
get that. Like, I know 2/3 of the games in it are Nintendo published games, but I mean, Microsoft spent like, I don't know, $300 million or whatever on Rare, so you'd think
I
they
don't
would
know.
want to keep that exclusive.
It sounds like they'd be open to it, and they said,
I
they wanted,
guess.
they were open to having Banjo-Kazooie, I think, in Smash. So
Yeah.
sounds like Nintendo's the one that needs to take the steps, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just thought it was weird that they were like, yeah, you can just ask them. I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. I don't know. Xbox is weird this generation. Like Tomb Raider is, we thought it was going to be an exclusive for sure, but it was only like a timed exclusive, and uh, same thing with PC ports and whatnot. I don't know. It's really weird. And then the last thing was Nintendo says the 3DS is here to stay, but they never said how long, so it could be like a month. I don't know. I thought it was weird that they're like, someone was talking to them about in an interview about the 3DS versus smartphones, and do you think it still has a life? And they're like, yeah, they're two different audiences, blah blah blah. The 3DS is here to stay. It's like, well, how long is really not up to
Yeah.
you.
Sadly,
I'm pretty sure when the next
Yeah.
portable comes out, you're gonna drop it like a a pile of crap.
Sadly, they can't, they just can't say anything other than that. There's just
Yeah, obviously.
there's just no wiggle room for them to say anything. It's going to be a lie no matter what. So they say something generic, and you got to respect their position because, what are they going to do? Like tank the sales of their own product and say, well, obviously we don't support this thing in a year and a half from now, or whatever. But, it's, 3DS has a lot of great games on it, and in a technical sense, it's here to stay for sure, because there's going to be people playing 3DSs in like 5 years from now. There really are. People still play their GBAs, for God's sake. So, it's what it is. So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long handhelds go for. Because I forget if Nintendo made the first handheld. Probably not, but they made the first successful one, definitely. And then the more they went on, the less handhelds there were. Whatever, handhelds grew and then died off, and Nintendo's been there like the whole time. It's really weird.
I think there will always be a market for a more powerful handheld gaming system with real controls and real buttons, because there's plenty of us out here who want to play it. 3DS sells really well generally, or it has in the past, so I don't think that market's going to disappear like anytime soon. I hear you on the mobile thing, but it's, there's people that want to play real games, not just phone games. So.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely for like a handheld versus a stupid phone, but I just wonder if it's ever gonna like peter out, like whether we have like this NX that's kind of a portable version of a home console, or maybe smartphones like have some accessory that have like buttons in it or something like that. I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see where it goes from there. But I think that about wraps it up this week. So you can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Eli, where can people find you?
You can find my work at NintendoEnthusiast.com and find me on Twitter at PaulusElon.
Cool. Mike, where can people find you?
Alright, you guys can find me at Gaming Night Live, SME Gaming 64 on YouTube, and then Troy Fullbuster on Twitter and Twitch. And then are you guys playing after? Are we playing?
Isn't the network down?
Is it? I don't
no,
know.
it's tomorrow.
I thought it was on Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday.
We can talk about it after we end the podcast, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I might be down for it. But hey, and good night. I'm Unoclay. I am Unoclay1 on my IGN. Read my blogs and comment, all 5 of you that are left.
So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and IGN. You can drop us a question there to read on the podcast, or at justanothercastle@gmail.com. And if you want to be a guest, you can leave me a comment or message me on Twitter at the Mango Viking. So see you next time, and leave gaming to Nintendo.